This is very interesting, this article here. Because, first of all, you have to take what they're saying by this when we have to translate it. The anti-media has done a great job. Jake Anderson, more specifically, has done a great job with posting this report. Stephen Hawking is who he's basing this report off of because of what Stephen Hawking produced in Starmus. If you were to say that God did not exist, this would be a little bit more alarming. But a self-destruct button would be more or less like opening a portal which allowed things to come through, like a vacuum. So let me read the whole thing first to you and with you, and then let's kind of go over it together. Physicists think they've just found a self-destruct button for the universe. The bad news is, physicists believe the universe could have its own self-destruct button. The good news is, it probably won't get pushed for billions of years. The so-called self-destruct mechanism revolves around the Higgs boson, or the God particle, which was finally discovered by scientists at the Large Hadron Collider in 2012. In the documentary film Particle Fever, which chronicled the historic discovery, scientists found that the mass of the particle is 125 GeV. This is significant because it split the difference between two competing schools of thought. One proposed a Higgs mass of 140 GeV, which would support the idea that our universe is situated inside a multiverse. The competing theory positioned that the mass would be 115 GeV, which would support a supersymmetry model of the universe. The conclusion substantiated neither theory. Despite solving one of the great mysteries of modern science, shoring up the theoretical underpinnings of the 3 or 4 fundamental forces of the universe, the Higgs boson particle struck some physicists as problematic. One of them was Stephen Hawking. Hawking, who lost a $100 bet when the particle was discovered, began assembling a collection of essays called Starmus, which argued the God particle may in fact be what destroys the universe. In Starmus, Hawking describes how the quantum field by which the Higgs boson bestows mass upon particles makes it different than most others. Normally, these fields are vacuum states, but the Higgs field is not a true vacuum, and over time is becoming unstable. When the Higgs field transitions to a high energy state, a process Hawking and others argue has begun, it will trigger a quantum fluctuation known as vacuum decay. During the vacuum decay, which could quite literally begin any second, a metastable high-energy bubble will begin to consume everything around it at the speed of light. Eventually, this bubble will reach the Earth, but this will probably take billions of years. Some believe this process is a cycle that may have repeated itself countless times, creating and destroying the universe over and over. Alright, so I'm going to give you a real quick 2-second thing here. You can liken the vacuum decay state, you can liken what they're saying to basically a deity. And that deity happens to be represented by CERN, at CERN. It's the statue outside of CERN. Everything with them always goes back to the spiritual sense. It goes back to Shiva. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, what you guys think about it. For those of you who don't know exactly what a vacuum decay is, I would encourage you to do some research into it, because you could literally state that the vacuum decay is the spiritual transition of our world from the... Let me try to word this correctly. From the good that could come of the world, even though it won't because it's prophesied not to the ultimate evil. And that's what, like, the Antichrist coming to reign and so on and so forth. That is kind of similar in a spiritual terminology to what they're saying the vacuum decay is. Now, ultimately, under the vacuum decay, it just is an instant, boom, done. But they say it wouldn't happen for billions of years or so on and so forth. We obviously know that what they're stating within this, God is not a particle. God is much bigger than a particle. He's much bigger than our universe. He's much bigger than anything anybody has ever imagined. That said, when they state these sorts of things, when they try and mock and mimic God, we all know exactly what they're trying to do. especially with where especially where the Large Hadron Collider is located. Apollo. Apollyon. We know what their motives are. It's time to wake up to them. That's all I got for you. God bless and carry on.